Hello and welcome. My name is Coach Cal. I'll be taking you through a whole bunch of variations on the hip thrust bench. I also would like to say a big shout out and thank you to Silverback for hooking us up with such incredible equipment. This thing is absolutely solid and I'd love you guys to check it out. Without further ado, let's jump into these variations. I'm going to give you 5 to start off with. All right, so guys, we have our hip thrust bench here. It's all set up. We've got our plates on, and we put clips on just in case the weights decide they want to move. So we just secure them in place. Let's set up. All right. So first things first, we get into the hip thrust bench. We take a seat down on the ground. All right. We're going to make sure that your scapula or your shoulder blades are against the pad. We're going to roll the bar up, all the way up against your hips. We're going to keep it there. We're going to lift your knees up, bringing your feet closer to your glutes. All right. In this position, we're going to hold the bar. We're going to keep your chin tucked. And what we're going to do, we're going to lift our hips up towards the ceiling and control it back down. We're going to get into the position. This is where we'll start off from, and our finishing position will be at the top. And all the way down without touching the floor with the bar, and back up. Down, back up. You'll be feeling your glutes and your hamstrings firing at the same time. That's number one. So, variation number 2 with the barbell. In this variation, we're going to be doing a staggered stance, meaning one leg will be a little bit further away from the body compared to the other. Meaning we're going to have a lot more stress and activation on a single side. Once we are finished with that, we'll switch legs, shoulder blades against the bench, hands on the bar, tuck that chin, lift into the starting position. As you can see, my feet are in the staggered stance position, meaning this leg is going to be working a lot harder than the left side. All right, 3, 2, 1. Up to the finishing position, back down to the starting position. Up, up. Switching sides. We'll push this leg back a little bit further away. Bring this one in closer again. So we're doing the opposite side. Same thing, hands on the bar. Shoulder blades are nice and comfortable on the bench. We're going to lift, get into our starting position just like that. And we're going to do the exact same thing. Starting position being at the bottom, end position at the top. All right, for our third variation, we have got a band. Let's introduce bands to this. If you do not have a barbell, you can always get the bench and use a band. Let me show you how to set up. Similar kind of thing. Lie down, get into position. With our band, we're going to hook up the band just like that. Get into the starting position. Feet nice and close to the body, as usual. The band is going to be placed against the hips. All right. Exact same thing. I'd like you to keep your chin tucked, driving those hips towards the ceiling, squeezing, controlling back down to the starting position. Starting position is away from the floor. We want to keep this constant tension on the glutes and hamstrings. So, chin tucked, hands wherever you feel comfortable, driving those hips to the ceiling, controlling back down. If that was too easy for you, I would like you to look at changing the band, getting yourself a thicker band. All right, so we've gone through the barbell hip thrust. We've gone through the staggered stance hip thrust with a barbell as well. We've done using a resistance band as our third variation. For our fourth variation, if we don't have a barbell, if we don't have bands, but we've got dumbbells and we have the bench, then we're going to go with the dumbbells. So we'll select the dumbbell anywhere from medium to heavy weight. I'm going with a 20 kg right now. Exact same setup. Make sure shoulder blades are nice and comfortable on the bench. All right. Feet come close to the body. We'll get that dumbbell. We're going to secure it on the hips. in exactly the same place a barbell would go, or the resistance band. We're going to hold it here. We are going to keep your chin tucked from our starting position, which is away from the floor. All right, we're going to drive those hips up towards the ceiling, keeping that chin tucked. Now squeeze at the top, controlling down. Head up. All right, now that we've gone through the barbell, the resistance band, and the dumbbell hip thrust, we're going to make this one a little bit more spicy. We're going to take a nice resistance band. Usually the material ones are quite comfy. So we're going to put this over just above the knees because we want to activate more glutes, more glute med. So the band is on. Get into position. All right, for every rep, I want to be keeping my knees out. We do not want to let the knees in. We want to keep our glutes activated, especially the glute med. And we want to work it well. The band will come up over the quads, just above the knees, just creating tension in the glute med while we are doing the hip thrust. It's like a 2-for-1 special, where you get more bang for your buck when we have a little extra band. So it's going to be a bit more of a spicier exercise, and you are definitely going to feel a burn. From our starting position, which is not touching the floor, we have to keep our knees out, keep opening those knees, opening the legs, keeping that tension on the glute med. All right, hands on the weight, chin tuck. We're going to drive those hips up towards the ceiling and back down to starting position. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Those are my 5 variations of the day using the hip thrust bench. I would definitely recommend this to males and females, and I'd love it if you could go to the gym and try it out. If you haven't got one of these in the gym, hit up silverback.sa to help you out with some fantastic equipment just like this. I'll see you guys in the next video.